What is up, y'all? We're here for our weekly energy oracle forecast. I started the video over because I rambled for like 5 minutes and I was just like, you know what? We're starting over. I'm feeling a little under the weather and sometimes I can get a little bit sidetracked, and I went on a tangent about work. So decided let's do this fresh. So we are looking at the week ahead, the energy of the coming week, what kind of like spiritual weather we will be having. And I was also, at the end of my rambling, I was just talking about how in last night's Secret Teachings of Jesus video, we were talking about getting the different layers of your soul and like the different levels of light that add to your soul and are revealed through earning over time. And that was something that we were discussing lightly last night in the Gospel of Mary. And it was totally what today's Zohar lesson was about this morning. And that happens so often that the daily Zohar or the commentary on the week's coming portion, it always synchronizes with Secret Teachings of Jesus, like almost every single time. It is so wild because it's like some weeks we'll skip and we'll pick back up, and it somehow still, like, I end up being led to the portion of the Gnostic Gospels that lines up exactly with the same subject and commentary with the Torah portion of the week. It's just wild. And I follow some Catholic content creators, at least this one particular, and it seems like whatever portions they're reading sync up too, ironically enough, because I don't know if Catholics read like the Gospels through the year in a certain order. I'm not really sure, but it seems like whatever portion that he is particularly focused on or whatever for the week or whatever, it always connects, and I think that's just wild. So our first card out is Dreams. So we just had that big conjunction on the 20th. Today's, I think, the 22nd. So it was the Neptune and Saturn conjunction at 0 degrees of Aries. And so what that did was it basically pressed a cosmic factory reset button, right? And it ended the old self. That is the end of the old timeline. The old self has died and we have been reborn. And so we have the opportunity to go after our dreams in a new way. And really, for the first time maybe in our lifetimes, they have the potentiality to really manifest on a next level, or having maybe more of a depth of impact, right? So Neptune is our dreams, and we're in Pisces right now, right? So it's not only our nightly dreams, it's our things we fantasize about, like what we dream of, what we imagine and hope to become and build and do. And so Saturn is about applying restriction and discipline to see something through. Well, it's so interesting that, the Abrahamic religions are all sort of in a process of reflection, and the, Christians are in Lent, or at least Catholics and some other Christians do Lent. And then the Muslim people are doing Ramadan right now. And in Judaism, you're preparing for Passover. You're like mentally and spiritually getting prepared for all of that. So, and like the Exodus, and it all has to do with like freeing yourself from the grips of darkness and what binds us and what holds us back and keeps us from fulfilling our soul's full potential in this world. So, and in this life. And apparently today we had a trine, I think, with Jupiter, Cancer, and Venus, which was supposed to be really like loving and expansive and softening and sweetening. And I didn't feel it at all. I felt pretty tired and pretty annoyed at work, and just like not feeling good, and just kind of like a little bit run down. But that's not my usual self. But I was like, wait, this was supposed to be the light, great day of the month, and I didn't feel it at all. I feel ripped off. I want my money back. So yeah, so I love this. So on the in the cosmos, on the forefront It is. Our dreams are on the top of our minds. How we're going to cultivate those dreams and make them come true. Ooh, embrace. So it's like embracing the path right now. Feeling like whatever's happening, whether or not the outer world would perceive it as good or bad, we're going to embrace it. We're going to be like, okay, this is the assignment today. This is the journey. This is how I traverse this part of the gauntlet to reveal the legend of my hero. The hero is the hero that I am, right? So this is the path that we're on, and even if it seems like things are challenging, or we're not advancing the way that we think we should, or nothing's off. Everything is the way that it needs to be in order for our soul to become what our soul needs to become. And we can't measure our growth against other people, because in each person's lifetime, their soul correction is about doing what doesn't come naturally to them. It's like, you have things that come naturally to you, and you can heighten and expand those attributes and assets. But then what really grows the soul is doing what comes harder. Not leaning into your easy nature, not leaning into your, I guess, like untrained inclination. Right? Pushing ourselves outside of that comfort zone. So a lot of times when things feel, or like we perceive them as off, it's just because we're judging something as being bad because it's uncomfortable or unpleasant to us. But it doesn't mean that that's not exactly what's supposed to be happening, so that our soul can go through this challenge and earn light and wisdom and experience and strength from it. So when we are in the midst of challenge and we can embrace it and lean in, then it like reveals so many unexpected surprises and blessings, and it reveals like a more like powerful level of light coming from within us that draws down more and more opportunities. But if we're like fighting against the path and whatever's in front of us, and we're resisting it, and it's bringing us into pain and suffering and even just annoyance, then we're not resonant with the Holy Spirit that wants to draw close and share and connect and provide and protect for us, right? We have to bear that affinity. So if we embrace the path, then we are embracing the subconscious belief of wholeness. Like, oh, everything's good, all is well, everything's in its right place. This is how everything's supposed to go right now, right? And it's not that you become complacent and put your head in the sand. You deal with the challenge in front of you, but you just don't feel like, you don't throw a fit about the challenge or feel like you're cursed or bemoan, your fate, which I admit, I feel like that kind of attitude right now because I'm so tired and I don't feel good, and like people have like really pushed me over the edge tonight. So I'm like, oh, this is good. This is a good reminder. But yes, this week, be willing to take the point of view of a neutral observer of your life, and try not to judge anything as inherently good or bad, or like something's gone wrong or gone right, and maybe just roll with the punches, right? Because how many times do we waste so much energy and emotion and life force on just resisting the reality that we're stuck with at the moment, right? We can't deal with the problem at hand while we're fighting that it's going on. I can't accept this. Blah, 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 blah. This is awful. Blah, blah, blah. None of that is finding the way forward or through it, or finding a solution, or creating, something to innovate the situation, right? So the first things first is that when we embrace our present moment, then we are empowered in that moment, because then we can put our hands to good use. It's like Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. He talks about how, when we get obsessed over the past or the future, we activate the pain body. Because we give our power away because there's nothing that we can do about the past. It doesn't exist anymore. And we can't do anything about the future because it doesn't exist yet. We're creating it as we go. And so the more that we resist the present moment and what is, and fight against it and bemoan it, then the more suffering we will have in the moment. But if we can just at least be in the present moment with acceptance, then that's the first step in creating change, because you can't solve a problem while you're busy denying it or throwing a fit about it. You just can't. So embracing the path will propel us on the path in a faster way and give us more flow. Voice. So, we're watching our words. We're trying to speak into being what we want to create. So this is like a seed level of our fresh reset, new start. And so we really should be in the consciousness and be speaking the things that we want to create and call into being, right? And use our mouths for prayer, to speak our prayers out loud to the Creator, using that, like the power of the word, using words like our voice. That is the thing that ultimately gives us affinity and likeness with the Creator, because the Creator said, let there be light, and there was light, right? That's the story of creation is explained that the word was spoken and creation followed, right? Look at this. It's like this person has spoken, and look at all this growth and life that's come of it. So be careful with idle speech or evil tongue. I mean, I know I'm dangerous right now because I'm tired and cranky. Okay. Embrace the week. Focus on your dreams. Be in the present moment. Don't fight the present moment. Just be with it. Speak your truth. Speak truth to power in compassionate, compelling ways, and then release. It's like, do everything that you can, but ultimately we have to just let go of our attachment to the outcome, because we don't know what's going to happen. We have to give it our best shot and then let the chips fall where they may. And like, all we can do is show up and do our best and give it our all. And then after that, it's up to the Creator, right? And it's like, we're not doing it for validation or, reinforcement or to be pumped up and to feel valuable or important. It's like, we're doing whatever this is, whatever it is. It's like, it's for the Creator. Like, I'm just showing up as a humble servant, doing whatever, as a channel, as a vessel. And I know that I'm going to bring my very best. I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. But ultimately, I'm not going to get my ego involved in the outcome. Like, I want to give high value. I care because my ethics care about excellence, and I care about what I'm doing, right? That's how we're approaching this. So you're giving your all, you're giving your best. But ultimately, you're just like, but, God's will be, right? It'll happen the way it happens. And it's not to say, again, that I think that sometimes this mindset can be snatched up by our, like, oh, really? That means I can be lazy and complacent. And, it's fine. I just, I did everything I could, right? So that's where you have to be rigorously honest with yourself. Knowing that you really are giving it your all, and that you're not just, letting life happen and drag you around like a rag doll, claiming that, it's just in God's hands. Like, I grew up, around in a culture of people waiting upon the Lord, who were just ultimately like a destructive level of passive and dysfunctional, and they just didn't take any action, right? So there's that old kind of I guess you call it like a fable, joke, whatever, sort of like a parable, but it's like about, the person that kept saying like, oh God, you said you were going to let me win the lottery and you never, I never won the lottery. And God was like, you never bought a ticket. Like, I can't give you the lottery if you never buy a ticket, right? So, today I was thinking, just as an example with my own channel, it's like, because this all ties into the weekly Zohar portion too, the theme. And I was just thinking about that this morning, and I was thinking, you know what? That's true, because as an example, I can see how that applies to my channel, right? I'm giving everything that I can. Can I do more? Probably. I could, rake myself over the coals, I'm sure. But ultimately, I'm showing up every day and I'm giving all my heart. I'm doing my best. And so I can't sit here and think about whether or not I failed or whether I was good enough or whatever. Like, I came and I did. And if the creator, let the creator's will be done. He sees that I've shown up for work. I've done my job. I've tried to do it well. I've tried to get, these teachings out there. Ultimately, it's up to him, and I've got to let go of being obsessed over trying to control the outcome, because we can't control the outcome. Ultimately, it's the grace that we learn to adopt as we surf the situation waiting for the outcome, right? So let go, release your fears, release your anxiety, release your grip on the illusion of control. Just let go. Let go of the insecurities, let go of the worries, let go of the doubts, let go of the lack, let go of the scarcity, let go of the grandiosity, let go of it being all about you, let go of being, it's to your glorification or your detriment. Take yourself out of the spotlight and make it about what you're giving, what you're offering, how you're, what are you sharing, right? It's not about it's like as Shakespeare said, the play is the thing. All these actors, artistic people, they can have fragile egos, right? So when you're in a play and you're under the pressure, everybody's got, there's clashing titans going on. We've got to focus. The play is the thing. Come hell or high water, come people's emergencies, whatever, we'll find a way. The show must go on. Well, so too, right? In life, it's like the process of the soul, of the becoming of the soul is the thing. It's not, is my ego pleased with the way things are going right now, right? That's the actor causing drama, getting in the way of the production, right? The play is the thing. Our soul's sojourn through this life and the soul's awakening and development is the thing. So if this challenge that appears to your ego to be an embarrassing failure, it's actually giving your soul a lot of character development, then it's a win. It's all about how we perceive it. So that's why the sages, they really throw people off, because they're like, yeah, don't paint anything good or bad. You don't know. Something could be seemingly great and it turns out to be terrible. There's like this parable that I've heard through the Kabbalah Center a few times, and it's from Talmud somewhere, like some commentary from some rabbi from some time, but I can't remember exactly how it goes. But there's like this this family, and like their son breaks his leg, and people are like, oh, that's terrible, and they're like, maybe so, maybe good, maybe not, maybe bad, maybe not. And it's like, because he had a broken leg, he didn't have to get called up by the draft or something. There was a war, so he didn't have to fight the war. But then there was something really good that happened to him, and everybody was like, oh, you must be so excited. This great thing happened to your son. And they were like, could be good, could be bad, I don't know, who knows, we'll see how it plays out. And that thing, this is why I can't remember any details about the story. But the good thing ended up being opening him up to like scrutiny or, you know, something that was not like ideal. And then there was another thing that everybody perceived like must be a bad thing. It must be a bad thing. And that bad thing actually saved him again from a worse situation. So it's like we don't have the full picture. We can't see the context of all of these micro pieces moving in and out of place until later in hindsight when we look back and we're like, oh, actually that was a relief, you know, that this happened or that happened. So we don't know. Could be good, could be bad, right? So we can let go of our grip on expectations because it's a pipe dream anyway. Like, so we expect, you know, and then what? Like, anybody got people lined up to fulfill your expectations? Please share with me your secrets, right? So it gives us a lot more power back, a lot more energy, and a lot more peace if we have standards, right? That's different. Like, you know, again, having no expectations doesn't mean lowering the bar, having no standards in life, letting people walk all over you. It just means that you don't know how things are going to turn out. So there's no reason to get obsessed over wanting a certain thing to turn out an exact certain way, because maybe it will, maybe it won't, right? But if you have a more open scope of possibility and you're more curious and like oh, we'll see how it plays out, you know, then you're less likely to be disappointed because there's so much more opportunity for something to be exciting, right? If you just want this one outcome, then if that one outcome doesn't happen, then you're like, well, it didn't happen, you know, rather than I don't know what's going to happen. And then you have all of these multiple choice options, like things, you know, any number of things could happen. And then when something does happen, you maybe are less likely to see it as a loss and see it as just another good thing. For example, I don't know, I saw it like in one of those meme dump carousels, but there was a clip from an interview with one of the athletes, one of the American athletes from the Winter Olympics. And she was a skier, like she was free skier, or I don't know, I don't know Olympic games. So she was one of the skiers that does things. And the interviewer dude was like, do you see the winning these 2 silver medals as really 2 gold medals lost? Fucking butts. And she's like, no, that's absurd. She was like, I'm the most decorated Olympic athlete in history, or like she's like, I'm the most decorated Olympic athlete in my category or something. But she pointed out that she's like a record breaking for like winning medals. She's like, winning a medal in the Olympics is life changing. It doesn't matter which medal you win. It's just like such like an excitement and a feeling of achievement and an accomplishment to win a medal, period. So not like considering winning 2 silvers as just the only way you're looking at it is like losing the gold medal. Like, that's so stupid. She was like, me coming to the Olympics every year, I have to work just as hard, or however, you know, often she's been in the Olympics, not every year. Feels like it almost. But she's like, I have to work. It's like same for me. I have to train, you know, work just as hard, and it's just as hard for me every year, if not harder. And then she's like, but then like everyone else's expectations of me get higher and higher and higher. I have to outdo myself every year. She's like, I'm just like, you know, it's like, yeah, a lot of times in the past, we might have seen certain athletes that would have answered in a different way because, you know, we were in a different consciousness a few years ago. Like, since the last Olympics, like even the collective consciousness has jumped such leaps and bounds that some dumb answer like that you could have imagined hearing before, like, yeah, I mean, it just feels like a loss because it wasn't 2 golds. It's like, this was the perspective this year. It's like, why would I not be excited about winning any Olympic gold medal? Like, no, it's not a loss. You know what I mean? So just having the perspective of like, hey, I'm doing my best. I'm showing up. Like, I'm giving it everything that I've got. Ultimately, I've got to give my best and let the chips fall where they may. I don't know if I'm going to win a medal, right? I've won them before. Cool. I hope I win one again. I don't know which one I might win. I don't know what I'm up against, right? But I'm happy to be here. And if I win anything, it's a win. It doesn't matter if it's the best win or not as good of a win. A win's a win, right? So I think it's a good metaphor and example to kind of like approach the week with like optimism and enthusiasm, with sort of like okay, I'm gonna go with the flow. But it's like more of a like I'm not just gonna lay back and let the lazy river take me. It's one of those go with the flow, more like rolling with the punches. Like, okay, this is the pace. This is the ask of the week. I'm gonna keep up with it. I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna let go of, you know, the results because I can't control those anyway. But I'm gonna embrace what life brings. I'm going to focus and keep planting the seeds that are going to yield my dreams. And I'm going to keep voicing and speaking life into what I'm doing, and speaking blessings on what I'm doing, and speaking positively about what I'm doing and what I'm creating, right? We are winners, regardless of whether our medals are gold, silver, or bronze. We are winners regardless of whether our insurance policies are gold, silver, or bronze. Or if you have the dead in a ditch policy like most of us. All right, you all, that is all for tonight. We will be back together tomorrow for our weekly anchor message, where we will be getting our spiritual assignments for the week. Until then, may peace be with you. Ciao.